I ran in to something, and I was giving a lot of thought too, like afterwards, like really like thinking about it, because I kind of learned something, and I kind of been thinking this for a while, and it has to do with slow dances, right? So this ended up being a great crowd. It was a fun ass crowd, fun wedding. But it, oh, it swallowed down the wrong tube. But it didn't start out that way. It didn't start out like the greatest crowd ever. And what happened is so I go to start this wedding, right? We get done, all our formalities, everything. I gave them enough time, usually. So just so if you're not familiar in Jersey, like our format is, we do all the intros, everything. A lot of times we'll do parent dances, first dance, parent dances, and then the speeches and whatnot, kind of up front, unless it's like a lot, or, multiple 10 speeches and all that, then sometimes we'll break it up as well. But most of the time we put a lot of the stuff up front. Then I usually give like a song or two for people to use the bathroom, right? Because especially if you're sitting through right after speeches, right? The couple of these speeches at this wedding in particular took a little while. So, I gave them a song, I think 2 songs to use the bathroom, grab a drink at the bar, that sort of thing. You'll see people get right up, right? And you chill. And then you open up the dance floor because you still have, in Jersey, you'll have like 45 minutes until dinner's ready, right? So then you open up the dance floor. So, gave him the 2 songs, and I opened up the dance floor with a slow dance. I don't always do this, but I would say I do it more than not for the first time I officially open up the dance floor because, in my head, knock out a slow dance. At least I did it. And later on, if it's a good crowd, we just rage all night. I don't have to worry about it. And we're going to talk about slow dances in a second. But in this particular, time, I opened up for a slow dance. I put on, I think it was a request they had. It was like Dan and Shay. It was like Speechless or one of those, right? 2 couples came out. That was it. 2. Now I'm freaking out. Fuck, right? Nobody came out. And there was old people there, And that's, and that's why I want to talk with you guys about, that's why I did a poll, how many slow dances you guys play and, and all that. And I got a lot of reasoning, a lot of different numbers too. It was kind of all over the place. And, I would say one of the main reasons why I play a slow dance is because of old people, because old people like to dance to slow dances, I'll never forget, I was at the doctor's one time, seeing my doctor. It was a couple years ago. And he was just saying, my doctor complained to me. He's like, he knows I DJ weddings. I've been, going to him forever. He's like my family doctor. And he was like, dude, I went to a wedding. He didn't say dude. He talks like a doctor. But he was like, Nick, I went to a wedding last weekend. And I was so upset they didn't play one slow dance. So like me and my wife didn't dance once, right? And he's an older guy, and I'm like, wow, that drove it in my head further. You know what I mean? Like I remember thinking like, wow, some people just slow dance and that's it. So like it's always a good point to play slow dances. But like at that time too, I never had a slow dance really bomb. Like now, so what happened to this wedding? I play a slow dance, 2 people come out. So I'm like, shit, well, maybe I need an older slow dance, right? Now I'm like second guessing myself. Well, do I drop a banger right now when there's only 2 couples on the dance floor? Is that what I do? Do I just like drop a banger when there's only 2 couples? So I'm thinking, I'm like, I don't know. Fuck it. You know what? Maybe this is too new, and it's also country. And, who knows? Plenty of people maybe don't like country. I don't know. So let's play it safe. I played a second slow dance, and I never do this. It used to be what you did back in the day. You always played 2 in a row, but then I played a second slow dance. I played At Last, and I kept 1 couple. I gained 2, and that was it. So now we have 3 couples on the dance floor. I'm like, fuck. What do I do? Right? Do I just go for it? So I bitched out again. And what I did is I played like in between shit. I played like All Night Long by Lionel Richie and like Rock With You by Michael Jackson and like just in between shit. Like I didn't like say, hey, it's, I just did, you know what I mean? Didn't turn the lights on, nothing. And everybody's like, whatever, nobody's really dancing, right? Well, 6 minutes later, I look at the clock. I'm like, oh my God, it's 30 minutes till dinner. What are we going to sit here till dinner? Like, there's nothing I can do. I just got to put my head down and mix. Like, that's something I say all the time. When in doubt, put your fucking head down and you mix. That's it. Just keep it moving. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll just mix, right? And I played, and then I just dropped, what did I drop? I forget. Maybe September, something like that. Something basic, right? The second I dropped the first actual dance song, the whole dance floor flooded, like immediately. Like it was insane. It was like they were waiting on the sidelines, like waiting to go. Like, all right, you know what I mean? Like the second I dropped this shit, the whole thing flooded. I'm like, oh my God, they just hate slow songs. What am I doing? I could have done this from the get-go. I didn't have to play a slow song. I'm forcing a slow song. They don't even like it. What am I doing? So I got that was a self-reflecting, humbling moment. Like, Nick, what do you like? You're supposed to be good at what you do. Why did it take you 4 songs to figure this out, right? And it got me thinking. Like, what are the future slow songs? What are slow songs dying? Are slow songs an old tradition, right? I asked Santi, I was like, yo, Santi, you ever, do you ever slow dance? And he was like, no. He's like, I didn't have one slow dance at my prom. I was like, what? Not one slow dance? So I did the poll. And I'll show you guys the poll. I got a lot of answers. So I didn't analyze the data. There were so many answers. I appreciate you guys like answering it. But like everything from I saw 1, 2, 0, 3, 4. Some people said 6 max. Some people said 9 max, 10 max. Some people say first dance and that's it, nothing else. So just straight up 0. So one person said 100 to 130. I don't know why they said that. 3, 5, I'm just scrolling through 10, 4. I mean, answers all over the place. There really wasn't a consistent answer. I mean, it was like some people play a lot. Some of you guys play a shit ton of slow songs, and some of you don't play any whatsoever. So it's interesting. And so my typical thing is like if a couple were to ask me, right, I would say, well, maybe 1 to 3, depending on the crowd, if you want to break things up, right? Because that's what slow dances do. It breaks things up. If you've been dancing them for like an hour straight and, it's not the biggest crowd in the world, so you don't have a lot of people coming in and out, you know what I mean? So people are just getting tired or whatever. You want to kind of break things up in between dance sets. You play a slow song, give you a chance to grab a drink, or get your, what do I say? Like, we're going to slow things down real quick for one song, give you a chance to grab a drink or grab that special someone and bring them to the dance floor, some shit like that, right? It's to break things up. And it's also to start dance floors. And because my doctor said that, and I've heard it from other DJs and watching videos, everything saying like, yo, old people, slow dance. You need to play a slow dance. If you don't play a slow dance the whole wedding, you got to at least play one for the old people. At least play one. So that was my golden rule always. At least play one. At least play one. At least try it. And now I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess you should always try it. You should basically always try it and see if it works. But the real lesson I learned here, I would say, when it comes to slow dance, number 1, don't play too many. I've had couples literally complain that there was too many slow songs. I've had people ask me specifically, hey, what's your slow dance formula? Do you do 1 per hour? 1 every 30 minutes? Do you do 2 at a time? What's a formula? And there's really no formula. Sometimes you can dance a crowd for 2 hours straight. Sometimes you need to break it up after 30 minutes. You know what I mean? It really depends on the crowd that you have in front of you. And it depends on what their reaction to a slow song is. So like so this is where I'm at. This is my recommendation. This is my 2 cents. If you disagree, put it in the comments. If you agree, put it in the comments, whatever. Let me know. But my 2 cents on this whole matter is always play one. Always, at least up front, start a dance set with it. Either your first or second dance set, while the old people are still there too. You don't want to, wait till the last dance set. You won't need it then. Everyone's going to be wasted, right? So the first or second dance set, start it with a slow song always. Because number 1, you're going to see how they respond, right? See if they like it and all that. Number 2, you're knocking out the slow song. Maybe you won't need one again for the rest of the night. Like on Sunday night, I played one and that was it. I played one in the beginning and I didn't play another slow song the rest of the night. Didn't need to. I'll explain why in a second. But then let's say you do that, you play that slow song, and then it bombs like it did for me. Don't make my mistake and panic and play another one. And then worry about your own personal, putting yourself out there. Like, I'm like, oh my God, well, if I play a dance song now, there's only one person on the dance floor. There's only 2 couples on the dance floor. Now it's going to look dumb. Screw that. Okay. All right. It's your job to work and build. It is time to build. So you got to build now, just put your head down and mix. So don't make my mistake. You play the one, you realize it might not be a slow dance crowd, and that's fine. But go in after that. You'd be surprised. I couldn't believe that the second I played a dance song, the whole dance floor packed. But I played At Last by Etta James. Okay, people? At Last by Etta James. I don't care who you are, where you're from. That is a staple. That slow song should work every single time until it doesn't. So, you know what I mean? It just wasn't a slow dance crowd. So I don't know. That would be my main recommendation for that. Always play one, right? That way you can say you do it. Nobody can complain that you didn't, all right? But like if it doesn't work, go in after that. If it works, go in after that. Regardless, you knocked it out of the way. You get their temperature, and you keep it moving. Don't panic if it doesn't work, because I think that we might be running into this more and more. I mean, if Santi didn't have any slow dances at his prom, I'm sure a lot of people still do. I used to play slow dances at proms, like when I did one 3 years ago, so I don't know, but maybe it is like an older thing. Maybe people would just, it's twerk or nothing. it's Jersey Turnpike or nothing. I don't know. I'm running out of dance move names, but yeah.